Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering the Tier 10 Tech Tree Submarine, Balao. Now, this is for the EU, NA, Southeast Asia server, so this is World of Warships, guys. I know you've been asking for more World of Warships content, and here it is. 3 videos in a row, World of Warships, guys. It's back, as I told you. You didn't have to worry, because it's back. Now, so today, some of you guys are gonna blow your heads off, I think, with rage, anger, disappointment, because I'm playing a submarine. But at the same time, guys, I feel like covering a submarine video, so I'm gonna do whatever I want. So let's take a look at the submarine, the Balao. Now, what is it? It's available, by the way, for those who are interested, in the Tech Tree USA. You go up the Erie to Samson to Farragut to Catch-a-Lot to Salmon, and then you get the Balao, the Tier 10 submarine. In this case, this submarine, I don't really know anything about subs. No, I'm joking. I know a bit. Let's start off with the commander build. The armor layout's not that important for submarines. It's all 19 and the deck armor is 16, which is pretty cool. That's really cool. So Balao, captain build, guys. I'm running Helmsman, Liquidator, improved battery capacity, consumable specialist, watchful, superintendent, enlarged propeller shaft, and adrenaline rush, guys. Insane. For equipment, I am running torpedo tubes mod 2 for quicker torpedo reload, torpedo tubes mod 3 for more torpedo damage, submarine steering gears for torpedo tubes mod 1 for better top speed of torpedoes and torpedo traverse speed and risk of torpedo incapacitation reduction. And damage control system mod 3 for fire and flood damage reduction. And then main armaments mod 1 for risk of incapacitation reduction. So that's pretty cool. For exterior camouflage, you might think it's a single color camo, but I'm here to disappoint you haters from Wargaming. Here we actually have a multi-tone permanent camo. We got the single tone here. It's actually a two-tone permanent camo. We've got a gradient at the back here with the dark blue. There you go, guys. That is a permanent camouflage right there. And that is colorful. That's pretty cool. So that's the Balao's permanent camo. And for those who are interested, this is what steel Balao looks like. I don't have it, but that's what it looks like. For the ship characteristics, 21,250 HP. We've got our sonar, 7-second reload, 600 meters per second, 18-meter width, and maximum range of 12 kilometers. That's because our homing torps are maximum range of 12 kilometers. Now, I may play submarines a bit unconventionally, guys, because I don't like playing with pings. I don't like homing torps at all, because I never hit them. Now, I don't know how people are hitting them, because I have the hardest time. So I rely on the conventional 12 km torpedoes. Sorry, 10 km torpedoes, which do 18,300 damage, and they go 72 knots. They are slower, but they do more damage, so you can hurt battleships and cruisers really easily, which I'll show you in the next video. Well, in this video. Dive capacity, we've got 265 units, which is seconds. Depletion is 1 unit per second, and recharge rate is 0.96 per second. Top speed at the surface is 31.5 knots, but remember, we're taking in large propeller shaft, so when we're less than half battery life, we go plus 18% speed boost there. Underwater, 27.3 knots, making it one of the faster subs at underwater. Concealment, 5.9, making its detection actually pretty decent. But let's go into the game in the Balao. Here we are in the game in the Balao. As you can see, I'm diving for fun instantly, guys. We can see the ship underwater. Look what it looks like. Now, this isn't, again, like yesterday's video, the Tennessee video, if you've watched that. It's not a live commentary game. This is a replay I took from stream because we had a really good game. I wanted to feature it, and I put it in tech trials because, well, I'm probably not going to cover Balao for a long time again. So I'm just going to cover it in this section anyway. But for those guys who are not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate a sub to the channel, because it helps me out a lot, guys, and more than 50% of you are unsubscribed. So if you can help me out, guys, it's free to subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it a lot. And thank you so much for those who chose to subscribe already. Thank you so much. But the Balao, guys. Now, I know I've covered another submarine video this week, but that was on the Lesser Russia server. That was the Surkuf. And this is on EU, NA, and Southeast Asia, guys. So there's going to be one big change between the submarines. Specifically on both regions, and since this is on EU, World of Warships, there is no shotgunning, which means at 3 kilometers or under, your torps are going to do almost 0 damage. Which means for me to successfully torp a target, we need to actually be over that 3 kilometer threshold, or at least torp him when he's moving away from us if we're under 3 kilometers. Because if we hit him and the torps won't travel 3 kilometers, they're going to do no damage. But if they travel that 3 kilometers, they're going to do huge damage. Now, in this case, I'm going wide, guys. I do ping the submarine. I was underwater there because I wanted to click T. What T does is it spots the ships on the surface. The submarine U4501 was on the surface there, so we spotted them from 9 kilometers. We basically get that little radar every 48 seconds where we can click it. We have infinite uses, so we can kind of keep clicking it. Now, I know a lot of you hate submarines, guys. I know. I don't like playing against submarines, guys. But today, you know, I was playing it on stream last time. I never get to play it, you know. Everyone always gets mad at me when I try them out. But sometimes I want to try out different things, you know. Maybe I want to try out something that I've never played before. And in this case, I wanted to try a submarine. And I had a really good game. But I think it's okay for me to showcase it, you know. It is what it is. Okay, we press T again, which is our surface radar. We see the submarine position there. And that's going to keep pinging the submarine location as long as he's on the surface. He's probably going to stay on the surface because he wants to cap the cap, right? So that's why he's probably sitting on the surface. Now, Libertad does blind fire ASW him because of my ping location, which is really nice. And that's something you can do with submarines. Now, in the case, if the U4501 actually came to me wide this game, I would have actually had a probably hard time. I probably wouldn't have even gotten to play this game. Because, at least the early game. At least in my experience, now I'm not that good at submarines, guys, I have to say. But in my experience, when you actually have to fight the enemy sub and be in radar range, in his sub radar range and stuff, it makes the game actually pretty annoying to play. Because you're going to get spotted and you're going to get ASW'd. So you have to be really careful in that regard. So the best thing to do is, well, either play a bit more passive in your submarine with your team, at least till the enemy submarine dies, or at least till you get your radar on. When you get your radar on, then you can start dealing with the enemy sub. Now, in the case of Balao, you get 6 kilometers sub surveillance. I think the German one gets 9. And I think the new test ship, the K1, also gets 9 kilometers sub surveillance. So you have to be really careful with the Balao because, well, they outrange you. There's our first torpedo of the game, by the way. If we click on U4501, this is not a mod, by the way. You can do this in the game by clicking tab. And you have your mouse. And then you click on the enemy ship. And then hovering over the ship icon. We can tell his sub-surveillance is 6 kilometers like mine. So I don't get outrange unlike the U2501 where he's gonna basically, you know, zone me out because of his sub-surveillance. That being said, though, we don't want to play too aggressive into the U4501 because I'm not certain about his position 100% of the time. So we want to try to be a bit safe in that regard because if we just overly aggress, they're gonna find me and ASW me the whole game. Now, in this case, unfortunately, the CV did make the Wisconsin turn away from my torps completely. But when he dropped him, the Wisconsin's gonna die, though, so it's not really a big deal. But I'm a bit disappointed because I wanted to get some torp hits. Submarine gameplay, from my experience, is overall pretty slow. Well, ever since they removed shotgunning, for me, it's been slow. I don't like pinging. I told you this because when I ping, for some reason I don't hit torps. Maybe I'm not good enough at pinging, guys. But or how do I launch the torps? Because they all turn into one position and the enemy ship just turns apparently and just dodges for me. So what I like doing instead is actually using the submarines as conventional, almost torpedo destroyers, but you can get up to like 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers from them and have an easier time to torp. Now, I will ping in a second here, and that will reveal my position, unfortunately, which is not really a good thing that I did. And I shouldn't have pinged, realistically. But I chose to ping to maybe blow a DCP or two. That's the only reason I tend to use pings, is to blow DCPs, so then when I land the conventional torps, I can actually get permanent floods. And that's my goal normally. But sometimes, for example, I think when I play U2501, if I've ever, you know, sometimes I play that one, I normally ping with that one, I think, more often. Because of the torp range is 14 kilometers on that one. So even if they're running away from you, you're going to have a pretty decent time. But here we are. I'm trying to get some battery life, by the way. I'm sure you see me on the surface. I'm trying to get some battery life because I want that battery life here, the extra battery life when we get in. Because we're going to sit underwater here for a while because we're going to be aggressive on their team. I'm using sub surveillance to see if there's a U-4501 in the area. Luckily, there's not, so I don't have to deal with that. If I had to deal with that, we'd have some problems, especially in front of this Bourgogne, and I don't have teammates here to support me with ASW, so I'm kind of isolated. This is not a position you kind of want to be in a submarine, isolated away from your team, especially if you're just going to get spotted by the enemy sub. Now, if you don't get spotted by the enemy sub, this is almost like a dream position. Now, as you can see, I pinged. Unfortunately, that did reveal my position, and what the Bourgogne does here is, well, he decides to run at the ping location, which is actually probably the best thing to do in that situation, because he's actually pretty close to my ping location. So what I do here is I panic, and I dive, and I just sit underwater and wait for him. Now, I was streaming this at the time, so I'm like, guys, I'm so disappointed. I pinged. I made a big mistake here. I can't do anything now because he's at under 3 kilometers. I can't even shotgun him or anything, so I have to just wait till he leaves my 3-kilometer threshold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm never gonna ping again. I'm literally gonna sit underwater and do nothing. I'm just gonna sit here. He doesn't know exactly where I am, so he's not gonna really click ASW on me or anything. So I'm just gonna sit here and chill out. We're still full HP, which is good. And we can see him. Now I'm clicking N, by the way, is the horn button underwater. And as you can see, it sends out a shockwave, a ping. And all it does is realistically the N sound. It sends out a wave across the ocean floor. And you can kind of see terrain. Maybe if you don't see the terrain all the time. Maybe there's an island in front of you because of the vision, because you're underwater. The N button, the horn, when you're underwater, if you just click it, don't hold it. Just click it once. It'll send out this ping, this shockwave, which will spot things for you. And that's kind of the point of the horn, at least for a submarine when it's underwater. It does not notify the enemy ships where you are, but it also doesn't spot the enemy ships. It just spots the terrain underwater so you can actually see it. If you hold N, you're wasting your horn duration and you're not actually getting multiple pings. Actually, you might be getting multiple pings, but it's more inefficient because you're using your horn at a worse rate. We only have 1 minute battery life here. I'm a bit panicked. I don't know what to do. But here I realize maybe the Bourgogne's going to push south and back into A because he needs to get to my team to farm them, right? So what I end up doing is turning the ship around. Now, this is a big replay of nothing happening so far, but I wanted to showcase the whole replay because I wanted to showcase the whole movement and where I'm going with the submarine, because I think that's very important with submarines is positioning. Positioning is probably one of the most important things with submarines, except for your torp aim, but whatever. But in terms of positioning, it's huge because if you miss position, I wouldn't say you die instantly, but you're gonna take a lot of damage. And if there's a big group of battleships and they all ASW, well, they're gonna smash you. Now, I surface here temporarily. This is due to the fact that, well, the Bourgogne's behind the rock, and I need to get maybe 4 seconds extra battery life, so I can use that for later. I torp the Bourgogne coming around the corner, and, well, I'm hoping it's over 3 kilometers. I think it is, though. I do believe it's over 3 kilometers. Look, he's at 3.3, and we move forward at him. Here we're at periscope depth, which means you're only spotted at 2.1 kilometers. We launch the torps there, and look at this torp salvo, guys. Incredible. We do a solid 60,000 damage to the Bourgogne. We dev struck him. Now we surface as if nothing happened, and we go cap A, guys. How wonderful is that? Now some of you guys are like, what? How's that fair? Yeah, and you're probably right. But imagine how it was before, guys, with shotgunning. You would be able to do that under 3 kilometers. If the Bourgogne was running at me before like he was, I could have dev struck him instantly and not had to waste time and sit there underwater for those extra 2 minutes I think I wasted underwater there. Which, well, if I killed him straight away, I probably would have gotten the A cap straight away. I probably would have been able to cross the map faster and get more damage. But in this case, we're going to get the cap first. Now, the CV is threatening to spot me, which I panic a bit for, but I'm just being patient here. I'm just sitting here. I have to say, you guys are going to be mad when I say this. Well, to be fair, if you are mad about me playing submarine, you're probably not even watching this match, right? Realistically, you probably clicked off the video and you're waiting for another surface ship game, so maybe you're not going to be that mad. But I actually like trying out this class just to try it out. The fact is, I have over 31,000 games on my account, guys, and around, I think, 150 of them. So 150 out of 31,000 are in submarines, and that includes the old submarines where it was in testing and whatever. So I never get to play this class, guys. So sometimes I want to load in and try a new thing that I've never played before. It's kind of something unique, you know. And this is what this is all about, right? So I want to try something unique. But as you can see, our top speed here shifts because we got this speed on subsurface. This only works at periscope and surface depth where you get a speed boost. You don't get a speed boost when you're underwater like this. And it makes you go around, I think, 37, 38, maybe even 39 knots. I think it's 37 knots on the Balao, which makes it go pretty fast, right? On the surface and periscope depth. And this only happens when you're under 50% battery life. And look who it is, guys! And this is probably the best part of submarines, guys, is when you actually get put your hands on a Hakuryu or a carrier in general. When you get up close to them and you get to damage them, right? That's the most exciting part of playing submarines, when you get to kill carriers. That's the fun, right? And in this case, we've got a Hakuryu. He's straight lining. He doesn't really know exactly where I am, I guess. I'm gonna make him go dark, so he becomes overconfident that he's, oh, the Balao left me. He's not around me. He's not doing anything. He's not around here. We're gonna do okay. And he's distracted. He's like, well, I'm unspotted, so I'm gonna keep moving in a straight line. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening right now, is he's gonna keep moving in that straight line. And well, what happens? I use hydrophone to see him on the surface. Now, the spotting there was actually due to our CV. Otherwise, with the hydrophone, you'll just see a silhouette. Boom! 5 torp hits, guys. We did miss 1 torp, but we got 5 torp hits, and we got 131,000 damage there on that CV. Pretty solid. Well, not, sorry, 131,000 damage with the combine of the, well, 1 Wisconsin torp, the 6 torps on the Bourgogne, and the 5 torps on the CV. So that's 131. How much did we actually get on the CV? So if we do 131 minus 68, I don't know. I'm busy looking at this G. Hoffman right now. We'll calculate that later. Actually, I'll pull out my calculator right now. You know, I actually have...
Commander, we've been detected.
You know, I should know how to do this, but I don't feel like. So I'm going to do 131 minus 68, guys. And that's around 63,000 damage there on that CV. Now, in this case, I try to torp out the Hoffman. I'm panicking. Because he looks like he's gonna dodge my torps. Ah! And luckily, my Lauria just one-shots him from 2k HP, which is really good for me. The DCP time on Balao is 15 seconds, by the way. You do get limited DCPs, but it is 15 seconds. Anyway, so there's the Colombo right there. I might actually consider putting DCP mod on the submarines here. I think it's actually pretty solid as well on the server, because you do get 20% extra time on the submarine DCP. So yeah, that's pretty much the game though. So I think we can actually take a look at the score. I was wrong, guys. It's actually not the end of the game. I forgot there's a big surprise at the end of the game, because there is a submarine left. Now you guys are like, well, it's just a submarine versus submarine engagement. How entertaining could it be? Well, in most situations, I would say it's miserable and not entertaining at all, because most of the submarine engagements happen under 3 kilometers, and, well, you can't do any damage to submarines at under 3 kilometers with submarine torps, unfortunately. They'll do around 1k damage. You can flood them in a way, maybe blow his DCP. But anyway, as you can see, the collision alert has turned on. He doesn't see me. He doesn't have sub-surveillance, but I see him because I've got my sub-surveillance online. Now, he does prop torps because he thinks I'm somewhere in front of him, but I decide to ram him and get him out of the game. So for personal score, we got 143,108 damage, 12 torp hits, 3 kills, 4 floods, 1 cap, 3 spotted ribbons, and 5 target hits. We've got 2 devastating strikes, 1 on the Bourgogne and 1 on the Hakuryu there. Our basic speed, though, is where the reward really is. It's 3.2k. This is because submarines have that improved basic speed characteristics where they're almost always on the top of the team. Even their U4501 is on top of the team. We're at 3.2k basic speed. Did we really do much this game, guys, to earn 3.2k basic speed? All we did was kill a Bourgogne and a Hakuryu and a submarine. Not really that much, realistically. But anyway, we got 63,000 on the Hakuryu, 59k on the Bourgogne, 11k on the U4501, and 8k on the Wisconsin. We took our full HP because of the RAM there. We took 13.9 from the RAM, and we took 7.3k from the Colombo's depth charges. Credits and XP. Here you go. This is credits and XP. For my commander build, once again, we've got Helmsman, Liquidator, Improved Battery Capacity, Consumable Specialist, Watchful, Superintendent, Enlarged Propeller Shaft, and Adrenaline Rush. For my equipment, I've got Torpedo Tubes Mod 2, Torpedo Tubes Mod 3, Submarine Steering Gears, Torpedo Tubes Mod 1, Damage Control System Mod 3, and Main Armaments Mod 1. And that is pretty much the Balao, guys. What do I think of the ship? It's pretty good. of course, it's a submarine, so it has to be pretty good, right? Anyway, no, but it's pretty good. Personally, I prefer using the conventional torpedoes on it. This could be maybe not the way most people play because people like pinging and stuff, but I still like using the conventional torpedoes. It allows you to still remain in stealth the whole game, pretty much be undetectable, and it makes you kind of like that stealth fighter in a way where, well, if they don't see you, right, they'll be probably surprised that they can get you or that you torp them. Whilst if you're pinging constantly, they kind of have a general idea where the torps are coming from. Sure, they're homing, but they have a general idea. So they can kind of walk away. But having the conventional torps is the way to go for me. Personally, now, you could say, well, if you like conventional torps, why not play the Gato instead? Because Gato has better conventional torpedoes because they do, well, 4k extra damage each torpedo, right? And you're probably right in that regard. Gato is probably the better conventional torpedo submarine. But I wanted to feature Balao. I'm not that good in Gato regardless, so I wanted to feature the Balao in this case. Maybe if you want to see a Gato future video in the future, you can let me know. But let me know what ship you want to see in the next video. This could be any ship, not just submarines, guys. Let me know what ship you want to see in the next video. And please, if you did enjoy the video or just the content in general that I've been posting pretty regularly now. I posted 3 World of Warships videos in a row, guys. 3. And a total of 5 this week, because that includes the classified documents and the experimental ships. So out of 7 days, guys, I posted 5 World of Warships videos. And you can say that's the majority of the videos, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, what ship you want to see in the next video. And I would greatly appreciate if you have any feedback for the channel. Except, don't play submarines again. I get it, guys. I won't do it a lot. I rarely do it. I have like 4 videos out of 450 on my channel that are submarines. I have on my statistics here, guys, if you want evidence, okay? Because some of you need statistical based evidence. So if we take a look here, we have 31,645 games on my account, of them being 236 in submarine, 1,000 in CV, including RTS carriers, by the way, and 7,000 in destroyers, 13,000 in cruisers, and 9,900 in battleships. So there you go, guys. That is the class distribution and tier distribution here. 17k at tier 10, by the way. Okay, so that's pretty much the statistical based evidence that some of you were requesting, I think, to make sure that I'm not a submarine main. Okay, but that's pretty much it. Jokes aside, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. And I need some ideas for the next one, so please recommend the ship for me to cover in the next video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Big fan.